Week 2, huh? Well, it can't get any worse than last week. Hello, Steelers Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, a podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. Let's just jump right into it. Attack! And today we're going to be going over the Week 2 NFL 2023-2024 season. Starting off with the Thursday night game, you got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Last year, this was a Week 2 Monday night game, but because Kirk Cousins doesn't do so well on Mondays, they had to move it to a Thursday. But I'm sure the outcome will still be the same. The Vikings, doing well to start the game and then choking like they almost always do to Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jordan Addison getting his first touchdown and the first touchdown of the game last week, and well-deserved to him. Kind of miss him catching balls from Kenny Pickett, but that's either here nor there. The Eagles beating the Patriots with relative ease, as expected of the Eagles. And I have the Eagles winning this game. I feel like it's gonna the overall team of the Eagles is gonna be a bit too much for the Vikings, and their defense is not very good. So yeah, I got the Eagles winning this one. Next up, you have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Doesn't matter who's at QB. Apparently, the Packers still own the Bears. That was a crazy game. And then the Falcons secondary was, or really just defense in general, was all over Bryce Young. And he couldn't really do anything because the 10 points they allowed the Falcons defense. I do have Green Bay winning this game, though. It's kind of like because most of these teams are pretty much equal. So I'm just going to pick Green Bay because I have a little bit more faith in them, especially if Christian Watson comes back. I don't know how good Desmond Ridder is yet. Sure, we don't know how good Jordan Love is yet. But after that game, I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe a little too good about Green Bay. But I do have Green Bay winning this game nonetheless. Next up, you have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders squeaking out a win at the last second against the Denver Broncos. Jimmy Garoppolo almost getting injured, and Josh Jacobs looking good. Adams doing all right. Jacoby Myers got both of Vegas' touchdowns and a taunting penalty because, why not, right? The Bills losing in overtime to a heartbreaker against the Wilson-led New York Jets. You heard me right. The Wilson-led New York Jets. Do not ask me why. We'll get back to that. But I do have the Bills winning this game. I still don't know about the Raiders too much, and the Bills, sure, they choked, but then again, remember what happened last year in the AFC divisional round? It's the same thing happening here, but you still can't sleep on Josh Allen at home. Got Buffalo winning. Next up, you have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kitty Goes Meow Cincinnati Bengals. The Ravens getting an easy win last week against the Texans, and the Bengals getting the crap smacked out of them by the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. I do not know how the Browns stopped that high-powered Bengals defense, but maybe I should be taking some notes. I do have the Ravens winning this game. I hope I'm wrong, because assuming that we win our Week 2 game, that makes everyone in the division 1-1. But I have a little more faith in the Ravens right now, so I have Baltimore beating the Bengals on the road, but don't sleep on the kitty. Next up, you have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. And the last two times both of these teams have met, excuse me, both of these teams have met, they have been 50 plus points on both sides of the ball. Well, the last time it was. The other time it was Seattle got 50 points and Detroit Lions got like 20 something. But it's either here nor there. It's been crazy offensive battles, and I'm expecting another one this week. I do have the Lions winning this game, though, only because, well, A, they beat the Chiefs, and Seattle Seahawks let the Rams walk all over them, and they're in the middle of a rebuild for crying out loud. Like, come on. Yeah, so this week, the Blue Kitty is going to go roar. Next up, you have the LA Chargers versus the Tennessee Titans. The Chargers found a way to choke a 4-point lead to the Miami Dolphins, and the Titans, well, were 1 point away from winning the game. So, who am I to judge, right? But because the Chargers offense was still pretty potent last week, and I have a little bit more confidence in them than the Titans at this point in the season, I am going to pick the Chargers to win this game. Although, don't be surprised if they decide somehow manage to choke this game away. Next up, you have the Chicago Bears taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bears getting owned by the Packers like they normally do. This time by Jordan Love. No Aaron Rodgers this time. And Tampa Bay getting a W against the Minnesota Vikings. Baker Mayfield actually looking solid this past week. And after that abysmal show by the Chicago Bears, they're got a rebuilding defense. Justin Fields was not really showing his passing ability that week. I am going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this week, although we'll see if Justin Fields can turn it around. Next up, you have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs losing a heartbreaker to the Detroit Lions. Many would argue it's because there was no Travis Kelce. I probably would as well. But the Lions just play competitively, and they earned that win, Travis Kelce or no Travis Kelce. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the new question of Calvin Ridley, were eating, and I mean eating, that Colts secondary like it was nothing. I am going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game, though, because if Travis Kelce returns, that'll be a very good addition back for them. But you still can't sleep on Patrick Mahomes, despite Calvin really being a potent offensive threat on the other side. So I am going to pick the Chiefs to win this game, although I'm a little less confident about that. But I do not think the Spotted Kitty is going to go meow this week. Next up, you have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. The Colts putting up a fight last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Anthony Richardson looking pretty good. Defense looked okay for a bit and then completely lost everything. The Texans, they did not look good. I mean, I guess they looked all right, but for the most part, they didn't look good at all on Sunday. I do have the Colts winning this game. I have a little bit more faith in Anthony Richardson getting the job done than C.J. Stroud. Never thought I'd say that, but I do have the Colts winning this game. Next up, you have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the LA Rams. Both teams putting up 30 points against the other teams they faced. And the Rams actually beating a division rival. So, kudos to them. The 49ers showed off their impressive number one last year defense. And they're on a bit of a hot streak right now. Brock Purdy, one of the best young QBs in the game. I do have the San Francisco 49ers winning this game. I have a bit more faith in that team. They are a lot more balanced, and their defense is not one to mess with. So I do have the 49ers winning this game. Next up, you have the game that I don't really want to watch this week, but kind of have to. It's the New York Giants taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Giants getting the absolute crap kicked out of them, getting served by the Dallas Cowboys 40-0, and the Cardinals actually looking serviceable on Sunday, putting up a fight against the Washington Commanders, coming up short though in the end. I'm sure Giants fans would wish to forget about Sunday night, but Giants fans, you're in luck today because I am picking you to win this game. Sure, I know it's the Cardinals, and there's still probably no Kyler Murray this week, so you're going up against Joshua Dobbs and yada, yada, yada. You guys should be fine. I hope I don't jinx that, so knock on wood. But, yeah, just make sure you run the ball. That would be a good idea. Make sure to run the ball. Yeah, you got Barkley for a reason. Use him. Next up, we have the New York Jets taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Jets, no Aaron Rodgers, no freaking fracking problem. Zach Wilson coming in after 5 plays. Aaron Rodgers going down with an ankle injury, and yet somehow took that game into overtime, and they ended up coming out on top via the Wilson connection. Although I believe how they won was a punt return by Wilson. So I guess that makes sense, poetically speaking. Damn, who cares? And then the Dallas, we've talked about them beating the crap out of the Giants. I do have the Dallas Cowboys winning this game, assuming Aaron Rodgers does not return. But even if he does, it's kind of hard to sleep on the Cowboys right now. So I do have the Cowboys winning this game. Next up, you have the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. Commanders squeaking out a win barely, and the Denver Broncos choking a game. So nothing really new here. Although I do have the Denver Broncos winning this game, I don't have a whole lot of faith in that, but they're going up against the Commanders. Maybe Russell Wilson will turn around this week. We shall see. And then you have the Miami Dolphins. This is the last in the game. The Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. The Dolphins squeaking out a win the last seconds against the LA Chargers. Went down to the wire, but they got the job done. The Patriots kept it competitive for a little while, then choked. Yeah. I do have the Dolphins winning this game because I do think they're the better team, but they got to make sure to protect Tua's head. And then for the first Monday night game, you have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Saints, doing all right, ended up winning their game against the Tennessee Titans, barely, but they got the job done. The Carolina Panthers looked all right for the first quarter and a half-ish, and then ended up completely choking and not really getting anything done on offense. I do have the Saints winning this game because I do think they are the better team. But, so, expect a win from the Saints this week. Next up, you have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cleveland Browns coming out on the way with a huge win, beating the Cincinnati Bengals. And Deshaun Watson he looked all right. Throwing for, I believe it was 152 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he looked okay. He looked all right. The defense was phenomenal that entire game for the Browns. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers getting the absolute crap kicked out of them by the 49ers. But going up against a division opponent this week, anything could possibly happen. I do have the Steelers winning this game and getting a rebound this week. And hopefully Captain Cam comes back from that groin injury sooner rather than later. We need him back badly. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. What are your predictions? I went 10-7 this past week. Let me know how you guys did down in the comments below. And I am Zack Attack. And as always, you're in Steelers country.